I mean, if you're a Bears fan, you're thinking forward progress. Come on.
10, 219, 219.
Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abaticola on 312 Sports.
All right, so now what? Now what? The Bears were number 1 in the conference, and now they're number 7. My goodness, is the sky No, they're probably fine. And it was a hell of a game, man. It really was.
It was a great second half.
I'm still buzzing from just how good a game it was and reconciling all of these conflicting feelings that are all stirring around. This is Forward Progress on 312 Sports. I'm Dan Bernstein. That is Matt Abaticola. And the Bears are playing some big-time football with real opponents and in a rivalry here that is giving us some vibes that this could be a thing. You got 2 young, dynamic coaches. You got a couple of young, dynamic quarterbacks. There's some big-name players on the defense, and every time they meet now, there's going to be some crackle to it.
I'm feeling very confident.
Good.
And despite the loss, 28-21, but that second half of that game was really, really fun to watch, to see how the Bears could handle a really good team in the NFL, which we've always thought the Packers were one of those top teams in the NFL blob this year. And the Bears, they acquitted themselves well from that first half, and they've had a really good second half. I was glad myself, Dan, that my son had a couple basketball games leading up to the start of the Bears game.
Okay.
So I had like several hours where my mind was elsewhere.
Perfect.
So I wasn't just
best.
like sitting, because I was picturing you just sitting at home waiting for whatever football game you were watching, just waiting for it to end, waiting for the Bears to come on. I was out of the house. My brain was elsewhere. I wasn't just thinking about the start of this game because I was so excited for it.
Well, I didn't think that we were going to get another 6 inches of snow that like nobody told me about.
Yeah.
So I wake up and I'm
that was unexpected and not pleasant.
All right, so I'm going to shovel, and then one of our shovels broke. So I'm thinking, well, I got to go get a shovel.
I've told you, because you put the handle in the snow and you're holding onto the big part of the shovel.
It's an unconventional way.
Yeah,
I get a better grip that way.
Yeah, but then you don't shovel much.
But then the best thing happened, as if the timing were in a play. I'm kind of muttering to myself and going finding my boots and getting ready to go outside. And all of a sudden, knock, knock, knock on the door. And it was
a kid?
Neighborhood kid.
Looking for money?
Looking for money. I said, boy, did you find the right guy. How much you want? And
what'd you have to pay for it?
It was $10 for the front, $10 for the back. Easy
That's a good
peasy.
$20.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
And then he showed me how to set up Apple Pay because I didn't have that on my phone. And he's like, here, do this, do this, do this. Here's my phone number. I'm like, boy, you were everything to me today, young man. This was great.
You didn't have Apple Pay?
I think I did, but I didn't have I didn't have my debit card on there. I had a credit card on there, but to do the thing that he needed, it had to be a debit card. And then it said, warning, this could be a scam, so make sure you know to whom you're sending the money. So I gave him this really exaggerated look over.
Make sure he was safe?
Yeah, I said, I got to make sure you're safe. You might be a scam. And then it was awesome. And then I never had to put pants on.
That's perfect.
I had pants on when he came
when
over.
He opened the door
to a neighborhood kid with
not
no
have
pants on.
Okay.
But no,
right.
I was able to remove them for the remainder of the day.
Well, now that you understand how Apple Pay works, do you think you can add like a new app to your iPhone?
I did.
Do you think you could?
And
maybe?
I did. And I have been told not to use the word that I've been treated as an old. The marketing people came in and they said, don't say download. Whatever you do.
What do?
You get it.
You go and say it, though.
You get the app.
Yes.
You get the app.
Don't say download,
Don't
Dan.
say it. Whatever you do, don't
So
tell
what's
people
Dan
to do
say
that.
right away?
No, it was explained to me.
This is what I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say download.
People came in and said, no. No, you old. Get the 312 Sports app. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play. Then register your account to win great prizes. Dinner for 2 at Chicago Firehouse Restaurant, Smash Burger, or Giordano's. And we're going to populate that with other things. It's going to be concert tickets and all kinds of other cool stuff. So how do you win? Enter the promo code BEARS.
BEARS.
That's the promo code. Enter
Bears.
the promo code BEARS on any reward for your chance to win. So there's going to keep checking the app because those are the rewards up there right now. But they're going to be putting new and different rewards up there as they become available. And the way you enter is by entering the promo code BEARS. So there you go. It is the 312 Sports app. Get it ASAP.
Yeah, and I know yesterday our marketing team, before we went live with Forward Progress post-game show, they sent out an alert that you get right there on your app. You can, have your smartphone attached to your car and connect it and link it, and then you can listen to stuff right there.
You can leave us voice messages. You can send
which
emails.
People have, which is great.
Yes, and
awesome.
there are some that send 5 or 6, which is great. But
it's really great.
It's great.
Yeah,
but I think you have other friends you can call sometimes.
Well,
after 2 or 3, maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Maybe just stand on a street corner.
But just check it out. And here's the thing, though, about the app. The best part about it, it's free.
Yes, I know.
It's a free app. So go check it out. Use the promo code BEARS. Chicago Firehouse Restaurant, Smashburger, Giordano's. Use BEARS, BEARS, and give it a try right now. But you have to register. So you're not going to be able to do anything unless you register. So go ahead and do that. Download the free app. Get the free app. Get the free app. Don't download it. Get it. Don't download the app. Get the app.
I'm waiting to hear more also about what's wrong with Kyler Gordon. I'm getting really tired of this. He's had, 4 different body parts? At least 3 different body parts this year.
This was a groin on yesterday.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out because at some point you got to sit down as a team and say what is wrong, what's happening to Kyler Gordon and why.
Yeah, so I wonder, you, the Bears fan out there, as you're listening, how you feel. Obviously disappointed and unhappy with the outcome and the result, a 28-21 loss in Lambeau. But it's the most confident that I felt about this team this year, and it's such a juxtaposition of feelings to be angry and upset and bothered by a loss, especially to Green Bay at Lambeau and all their dumb fans. But to still feel very confident about this team, to have actually the most amount of confidence in this season. I knew the Packers are a good football team. We've known that all along. We know that they're a top defense. And for the Bears to go out there and have that second half just made me feel really good about the team, very confident about the. So, let me say that as I'm going through it, my confidence level with the coaching staff has just been going up and up and up and up every game. Every week that goes by, I just get more confident. And it's the team itself where there were question marks and there's issues with the quarterback. And it's like, is it really real because of the opponents they've played, the quarterbacks they've faced? This, for me, yesterday just cemented the fact that this is a good football team that can win a playoff game. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs. They still have some work to do. It's a very fragile NFC picture right now. But they're in a very good spot. And I think if they get in, they can win a playoff game. This is that good of a football team for this 2025 season.
I mentioned this on DBU earlier. I think if this Bears-Packers team, as currently constructed, that group, if they meet up with the Packers as currently constructed 100 times, the Bears win 45 of them.
Yeah, I think like a 60-40 split is pretty realistic, and I think the main difference right now is that Jordan Love is a more polished NFL quarterback than Caleb Williams.
More accurate.
Yeah. It's really that
he's
that simple.
More responsive to what he sees and more accurate. He obviously isn't as talented, but I think he's more responsive to what he sees and he puts the ball where it's supposed to be.
Yep. Caleb Williams has a special set of skills within him as an NFL quarterback that no other quarterback has in the league right now. That's fact. If he can continue to close the gap between his potential and the deficiencies that he has, he is going to be a top quarterback. The top quarterback has the potential to be the top quarterback in this league. You take his special set of skills, his athleticism, and if he can become a better passing quarterback, he is going to be one of the best. And that really sits really well for the Bears and their future with Ben Johnson as the head coach.
I know there's some audio that you want to play.
Yeah.
I just want to close. I did find the Kyler Gordon.
What have his injuries been outside of groin from yesterday?
This is from the Tribune. This is Brad Biggs, and he says August 7th, left practice with a hamstring injury, wasn't considered overly serious, practicing by late August and the first week of September.
Yep, hamstring. So hamstring was the first thing.
September 7th, late addition to the injury report with hamstring, missed the season opener.
Okay, hamstring.
Limited in practice September 26th for the ramp-up Week 4 game, then the bye. Played 39 snaps at Washington, 42 snaps at New Orleans, then was on the injury report with groin/calf, went on injured reserve. Returned to practice. The window was open November 19th. 53-man roster on the 27th. Played at Philly on the 28th. Then hurt in warm-ups.
So it's 3. It's groin, calf, hamstring.
Groin, calf, hamstring, but we don't know if it's the same hamstring or the same groin.
Right.
Or same calf. Who knows what these have been. And there's the playing and coming back, and twice now getting hurt in warm-ups.
So if it's the same side, let's say it's been consistent on the same side of his body.
They'll talk about imbalance.
What's the deal? What's going on?
I don't know. I can't even begin to know. I just know it sucks that it's too bad for somebody this important to be this unreliable.
All right, let's take a look at let's take a listen to some audio here that we have from Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams after the game yesterday in Lambeau. We'll start with Ben Johnson first.
How do you attribute the difference in the offense between the first half and the second half, and how you guys did come to life?
It's a really good defense. I think at home this year they're averaging 13.5 points per game and 240 yards per game. So we knew it was going to be a big challenge. You go on silent cadence against a really good pass rush group like that. They get off the ball and they pressure your quarterback, and we certainly felt that there in the first half and in the second half too. I thought Caleb was doing everything he could. He put his Superman cape on a few times to not go down, extend the play, and he found a couple big scrambles for us over the course of that game, which earlier in the season you would have said that we really had a hard time finding. But I think it was Duvernay down there on their sideline. That was a huge play.
It's crazy.
The Cole Kmet catch down on our sideline was a huge play as well. So I think we got a prideful group. We weren't happy, we weren't pleased with our first half performance on offense, and sometimes just coming in and catching your breath for a second allows you to hit that reset button, and our guys responded the right way.
Well, there's some coaching in there too. When it's more than hitting the reset button. It's changing
and catching your breath. Yeah,
changing what you do.
Yeah.
So I think he is being a little humble there. That was really good coaching at halftime.
Yeah, it certainly was a tale of two halves. They looked like two different teams, and that's what makes it even more frustrating as a Bears fan. You just put a couple things together in the first half, man.
Well, you don't allow that second touchdown.
Yeah, I know. I know, dude. I know.
Fixating on that.
I know.
It would have been fine if not for letting that guy behind you.
Like
it was Melton of all people.
Like the Packers get the ball back and it's late in the second quarter. It's like, all right, you go to halftime down 10-3.
That's what
fine. All right, you're 10-3. That's fine. You can come back out for your first drive. You get a stop. You get the ball. You tie the game up. It's 10-10. But to have that. Yeah, to go in at 14-3.
It didn't even have to be 10-3. It could have been 7-3.
No, I know.
There's a 45-yard score.
I just assumed they would get into field goal range. I really did.
Even so, I mean, you can't rely on turnovers anymore. Turnovers are great. Do not rely on them. Play defense.
That turnover you had yesterday was a gift. I do not know what he saw or what he did there.
With it.
Yeah, they didn't do anything with it.
You couldn't do anything with it. So just play better defense. Turnovers can't be relied upon to keep bailing you out. And you keep thinking, well, maybe they'll force a fumble. Maybe they'll pick one off in the end zone. But big boy teams don't do that.
Well, here.
They don't rely on it.
We'll go to two more cuts. Let's go to this one first here about he's asked about Gordon.
Losing Kyler before the game, what kind of setback was that for your defense and your plans there?
We adjust on the fly. That's no problem. That's what we always do.
No problem.
We had a plan. DA does a great job with that. Next guys were popping up, and they answer the call, and we don't miss a beat that way.
Yeah,
but
you did.
Kyler's a really good player, and we're better when he's out on the field. So you do miss that, and when it happens in pregame like that, it also takes you down a man going into the game too. So if you know that going into the game, at least you can have someone else up on the active roster for you there to fill in and be another body, whether it's on offense or defense. So it's one of those things. It's a shame that it happens like it did, and we'll see the extent of it.
You did miss a beat. You missed a beat because
He's a better player.
Right. He has much more makeup speed. When you saw Watson win on the release on that hot read, on that crosser, on the touchdown, that Gordon's got the makeup speed, at least, to stay with him and maybe bring him down. Johnson doesn't. Johnson at the line, I don't mind him in coverage, but he's got to hit that guy. Johnson has to be a disruptive force on the release.
Well, listen, I mean, to be fair, too, Christian Watson is one of the best receivers in the game, and he's got great speed.
And he's really fast. But
I'm more comfortable with Gardner Johnson against a tight end or not the main receiver.
No,
so that's an issue. Yeah,
it is. But even so, if you are in a mismatch there, you got to go hit him in the neck.
Yeah,
you got to do something other than give him a free release, because the moment he got a step on him, it was over.
Yeah, and it's not really an accomplishment to say, oh yeah, the next guy stepped up. That's what every NFL team does. If any guy gets hurt in pregame warmups, there's always going to be a body to fill that.
Starter.
Right. There's always going to be a body to fill that up. All right. And then on what we're talking about here, these explosive plays against the secondary.
Ben, when you talk about the big plays that you guys gave up defensively, what kind of issues were you having in the secondary?
One of those things. Again, I got to go back and I got to look at the tape. But it did seem like we were man to man on one of them, and their guy beat our guy. I know on another one they seemed like they had a good play design based on our coverage, and that happens at times. So I got to go back and I got to look at some of those and what we could have done a little bit better.
Well, the way Tom Brady described it, it sounds like Jalen Johnson was at fault for not having the safety responsibility on a reverse two deep or an inverted two deep. It's where basically you look like you're in single high, and then you walk the safety up, and instead of bringing the safety back, you bring a corner back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue with Tom Brady's football knowledge, but I watched that play a few times.
It's illegal.
But there was a receiver that ended up on the far third of the field that Jalen Johnson covered. So I don't understand then. How's he supposed to cover two guys?
I don't know.
I thought he was in the right spot. I thought Tom Brady kept making a mistake.
Oh, okay.
In the coverage, and I'm sure Tom is right, and I'm wrong.
I'm not assuming that,
but I thought Jalen was in the right position because there was a guy that was in our third, and I thought it was Kevin Byard, was going right to left. And so he was actually over the top of the guy that Jalen Johnson was in front of.
That's why I wonder if...
And that's why it left that middle spot open, because Byard went left. And maybe he played it right, but I just don't know if Johnson's supposed to cross over then towards the middle coverage.
There was a miscommunication. It was supposed to be an inverted two deep, and it was being played as regular.
Yeah.
Where it seemed like you had one safety had the proper responsibility, and then they couldn't decide whether it was Johnson or Byard who had the other. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it a few times, and Byard does go right to left, and he's over the top of the guy that Johnson's in front of, and then you have was it Brisker that was chasing from behind to kind of So I don't know.
He almost got there too.
He almost got there. I know it was close. But I thought it was Byard staying there with Johnson on the outer third. I don't know.
Unfortunately, you got to wait until Thursday to ask the defensive coordinator.
I'm sure Brady was right. But and here's a final question about Rome.
And what's the ripple effect of not having Rome short term here, and how those reps get distributed?
Kind of knew that going into the week that he may not be available, and so something that we're conscious of. The fortunate thing for us is we have weapons all over the place. Our tight end room is very strong. Our running back room is strong. We have a lot of depth in that receiver room. I know Luther certainly had a little bit more on his plate here this week, and I thought he handled it pretty well from my perspective without seeing the tape yet. And so I don't think that necessarily we missed a beat, but yet Rome is such a vital part of what we do. And, in a lot of ways for Caleb, it's his blankie, and
his
they got such a great natural rapport that when a guy like that's out, then, other guys got to step up. But yet he is a big part of what we're doing.
I can translate that. I don't think we missed a beat. We missed a beat.
Yeah.
That's what
other guys. No, but here's
the
thing. Other guys stepped up. Duvernay had a big catch. Zacchaeus had a big catch. Luther Burden, he caught all of his targets. And I think all four were for first downs.
Yeah, but they
stepped up.
Too. A lot of the stuff that Adunze does.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's huge.
The attention,
it's huge to not have him.
The gravity, the attention paid to him when he runs a route is different than the attention paid to Devin Duvernay when he runs a route.
And this is going to sound odd, but I'm really glad that we found out it was an injury that's been slowing him down the last couple of weeks, because I was getting concerned about his lack of production. And having a stress fracture in your foot all makes sense.
Okay,
I get it.
Does it mean that when the season ends, he's going to go have a pin put in there?
I have no idea how significant this is. If it's just,
is this game-to-game management of something that is clearly hampering him?
I mean, obviously, having played on it the last couple of weeks, it's not anything where he was going to do more significant damage to himself. So I would imagine it's probably just pain management and the ability to run the proper routes.
It's football.
I wanted to ask you about something too before I do have one more Ben Johnson cut.
Okay.
Last week when he talked about, and this whole controversy of the passing game came up, and then he stepped it back the next day, and, Caleb's great, and he's doing great. He talked about the wide receivers still not getting to the right depths and running the right route. Like, what the fuck? It's 13 weeks in. Like, how are wide receivers still not running to the right depths? Like, what's going on? Like, I would like to say, or I'd like to ask, well, can you show us which plays was Caleb impacted by the receivers not running the right depth, not running the right routes?
It may be just him trying to globalize,
or was it taking less off of Caleb?
I think it was him saying it's not always just him, and there's some truth to that. And I mentioned it yesterday when it comes to the throwaways, when it comes to plays on which he's trying to just eliminate the negatives, not throw an interception, not take a sack.
Dude, not every incomplete pass is bad. I get that. It's the ones where he has a good pocket with an open receiver that he misses that's frustrating.
Yeah, I'd have to watch the all 22 with Ben Johnson, have him say, look, here, you see,
this is the guy that
DJ or Rome, his split was off and his depth is off, and now there's an extra second, and like we'd have to know what they see.
That's what I'd like to see, though, because I have a hard time believing a guy like Rome or even Burden or DJ, even with the lack of effort at times, isn't running the right depth, not running the right routes.
Enough to make that big a difference.
Correct.
Yes.
Anywho. All right. So one last thing for Ben Johnson about the Theo Benedict play.
The play that ended up with Colston scoring the touchdown in the fourth quarter, did you just walk us through kind of your vision of how that unfolded, the sequence?
Man, I can't even remember.
It looked like Theo might have been your first option in the left flank.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So we were in goal line, and you're right. Theo was going to be number one there, was trying to go for a big guy touchdown. I was about to say fat guy touchdown, but he I think he got chopped down, and so he didn't even get out on his route. And so Caleb did a nice job popping back to Colston, and was able to find him. So it was good.
Well, good for him, not wanting to body shame.
Yeah.
That's so aware.
Despite saying it, though.
I know. He did say, I wanted to say fat guy touchdown.
But I didn't, though.
But you woke liberal media won't let me say fat guy anymore, you bastards.
So, but you remember after that play, because it's clearly a missed flag, because if you're an eligible wide receiver.
You can't just knock a guy down. You can't flip a guy
get your
like
legs
that.
taken out. And Ben was clearly upset and screaming on the sideline about it, despite the fact they scored a touchdown, which I love seeing. And he was the main guy. He was the number one on that route, was for Theo Benedict to catch a pass and score a touchdown. Did I hear this correctly, that Wiener Circle put that out there, that like a fat guy touchdown got more hot dogs?
I don't know, but I don't think you're allowed to say that anymore.
Big guy touchdowns, I meant. I wanted to say fat guy. I didn't say it. I wanted to.
There was a time when we used to talk about fat guy touchdowns. You can't do that anymore. You also can't beat your players when they screw up.
I think it's funny, too, that Ben's like,
you can't deny them water anymore.
I think it's funny that Ben was like, which play was it? And then he had to go, it's when Theo got, He was losing his mind on the sideline after that play.
He should have been.
Yeah, of course he should have been.
Absolutely.
It was a missed flag.
I wanted to say fat guy touchdown. Can't do it anymore.
Here's the play.
3rd and goal. Theo Benedict, alignment in motion. He gets cut. Williams floats it the other way. It's caught for a touchdown. Colston Loveland.
All right, are you ready?
Yay!
Now this is what you get by having Tom Brady in the booth. Hang on.
Loveland. He's over here. He slips inside of the tackle. Well, of course nobody's going to cover him. They don't even see him.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. He's invisible. I can't even see him. Where did he go? I can't see anything. Oh, I got my eyes closed. Could you isolate the great Houdini for us?
If I can find it, yeah. I don't know if that's in the NFL highlight packages, but
it was so great. They showed one of these overproduced graphics. He calls him. Look at the ability of him to escape. He's like Houdini. I mean Houdini.
I like Houdini better.
I do too.
All right, here's Caleb Williams. He was asked about what the feeling was in the locker room after the game.
Yeah, it's frustration. Just because we shot ourselves in the foot. I think more than anything, and so I think that's where the frustration comes from. We had a great shot early in the game with the interception. Defense doing a good job, and then we kind of let them get going, and they put up some points on the board, and we had to try and rally it, and it's not always going to work in our favor. And, we work our tail off to try and, not have these, situations. But when the situations do, come, we gotta try and go make plays and try and, come back and make the right plays to, seal the win.
All right. He was asked about his second half performance, not his, but the team's second half performance.
I think that, kind of what I just said. It's just we needed a spark, and, we ended up having a spark with, one of the passes or we came out, run the ball well and things like that. So, I think it created a good momentum for us. And like I said, we were executing the small details.
Okay, let's execute those small details in the first half. That'd be great for the next game. All right, and then he's asked about the interception to end the game. I want you to listen closely to what he says and pick up on something that Ben Johnson has talked about before.
We had about 2 or 3 guys in front of, either stacking Swift or right there with Swift. And so, rolled out and saw Cole and tried to give him a big boy ball, try and let him go up for it because I ended up seeing 25 starting to sprint. And so tried to slow him up and, kind of give him a chance in those moments. It's, got to have it moment. And they had a guy trailing me. And so didn't feel that I could go get it myself. And so just got to give Cole a better shot at it. I think, next time just extend him a little bit more and kind of lead him. But in those moments you want to put the ball in play and trust your guy or, try to have your guy go make a play and just got to give him a better ball.
Didn't feel that I could go get it myself. I thought he might have had it.
I thought he had
That's
it.
an interesting observation that I thought had he committed to it, he probably had it. But then to hear him say, I didn't feel like I could have run for it.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to take a shot, but I thought he could have had it.
I did too.
So what did you hear on the pass? What kind of ball did he throw to?
Big boy ball?
A big boy ball, go up there and give him a chance to go get it.
Yeah.
And what has Ben Johnson talked about? He doesn't like those go up and get him balls. That's not his thing. His thing is not give your guy a chance. No, his thing is use the offense to get the ball to the receiver in the spot he's supposed to be.
He also puts that on himself, if I remember correctly, when Johnson talked about that play, the way he phrases it is something is designed to pop, where if the plays run correctly, it may not be commit that there. I don't know whether or not that met the definition of pop because he did have him. He had him. Had he thrown it and he recognized it a little earlier and lofted it a little earlier, I think he had him clean. But he said what exactly did Johnson say? It had to do with waiting for something to pop or seeing what would pop when they get Williams out on the edge. There's multiple possibilities there.
Yeah, and it was similar to the Eagles game.
And you know what I think actually the quote that I read may have been about that Loveland touchdown when he said he was talking about something popping.
Okay.
And that's how it's designed. It isn't designed to say, hey, you're taller than he is, go jump for it. But that's a good catch on your part.
Yeah, I also thought it was interesting, too, in what Caleb said there, that he saw it sooner. And this goes back to all the times we've talked about his timing and his recognition and, pull the trigger. Because he saw it enough and he saw it developing enough that he saw Mixon sprinting over.
Throw it.
Instead of recognizing what's happening there, recognize your guy was open, throw him the ball. instead of lofting it because Mixon was coming over and giving him a chance to go get it.
That's where the development's going to come.
Yeah,
that's all this development about when a little tiny bit late becomes just early enough or just on time enough. There's so much distance in there and so much difference in there.
All right, and then here's one from the Packers website, and it's a reporter, a Packer website reporter maybe. I just want you to listen to him, and then here's Matt LaFleur. He's questioning Matt LaFleur.
This is Matt LaFleur.
After the game.
Okay.
Being asked a question, and just listen to the reporter.
Matt, congratulations. That game was worthy of being part of the longest rivalry in the history of the NFL. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great football game. A lot of back and forth there, and ultimately we found a way to get it done. And certainly I think our crowd played a huge role in that. They were outstanding, and, luckily we made a play when we needed to at the end of the game.
All right, before we get to the reporter real quick, hang on. Something that Matt LaFleur said, it triggered a memory to me of this past Cubs postseason, how the Cub fans turned out when the Milwaukee series came back to Wrigley. Like, I want, and I know Bears fans are crazy and they're always loud. I want something extra when the Packers come to Soldier Field in 2 weeks.
How extra?
I want, like, not Pavia family extra.
Okay.
And
not like people dressed as the Blues Brothers
or
Ditka sweaters.
Not characters. I mean the energy they bring. And I know Bears fans always bring a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
But I want it difficult for the Packers to play football in 2 weeks. We saw it at Wrigley Field, how loud it got and how they got after the players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just all I thought. I thought of that right away. I'm like, let's get them. Like, it's the last regular season meeting for these two. They're coming to Soldier Field for game 2.
Defend your territory.
Yeah, that's meatball. I get it, but still. All right, so that reporter, this is what I heard. Listen to it again.
Matt, congratulations. That game was worthy
thank you.
of being part of the longest rivalry in the history of the NFL. How do you feel?
I'll be deep in the cold, cold ground before I recognize Missouri.
That's what I heard. Am I way off or no?
No, my story begins in 1962. We had to say dickety because the Kaiser had stolen our word 20. I chased that rascal to get it back, but gave up after dickety 6 miles.
Is it Abe Simpson? Is that who works for the Packers?
What website is it?
It's GreenBayPackers.com.
Oh, I thought it was like oldpackerfan.com or something.
No, you remind me of a poem I can't remember, and a song that may never have existed, and a place I'm not sure I've ever been to. Ooh, I feel all funny. I'm in love. No, wait, it's a stroke.
You know who Zerbiak reminds me of? Yes, who? I forgot.
That's one of the best.
One trick is to tell them stories that don't go anywhere. Like the time I caught the ferry over to Shelbyville. I needed a new heel for my shoe. So I decided to go to Morganville, which is what they call Shelbyville in those days. So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time.
I just want to know what GreenBayPackers.com.
Matt, congratulations. That game was worthy of being part of the longest rivalry in the history of the NFL. How do you feel?
I'll be deep in the cold, cold ground before I recognize Missouri.
Maddie, here's what's going to happen.
What? Oh, no.
Because you don't know who that is, you know what's going to happen.
Oh.
That's going to be I guarantee you just did something bad. I'm not taking any blame on this one. That what we're going to find out that this is some Hall of Fame made guy, some Green Bay legend who is now working for the team. Because usually, think about who these guys are. Sam Smith, Bob Verdi, the people who do it locally, like Don Pearson. They're usually an emeritus, brilliant, important writer. Somebody who's considered significant influences on modern reporters. I guarantee you've done something bad here.
Well, then why are you laughing?
Because I'm not saying it's not funny. It's just bad.
Oh, boy. It doesn't say anywhere who it is.
I'm telling you.
Oh!
I know Lee Remmel's dead.
You're right.
It's not Lee Remmel.
You're totally
Matt,
right.
congratulations. That game was worthy.
You got to research
of being
these things,
part of
dude.
the longest rivalry in the history of the NFL. How do you feel?
I'll be deep in the cold, cold ground before I recognize Missouri.
Who is it? Who are you? You are defaming here.
Larry McCarron.
Oh, it's Larry McCarron?
Yeah.
That's their radio guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy who sits next to Wayne.
Now, my story begins in 1962. We had to say dickety because the Kaiser had stolen our
You
way
can't
20.
do this. You can't do it to Larry McCarron.
Oh, please. Oh, since when does your comic genius know some boundaries? Whatever.
I know speaking English.
Right, exactly. Oh, now all of a sudden you're not part of this?
Nope. I have nothing to do with this.
Wow, look
this
at you.
This is Matabata
Tuck your tail and turn and run. Wow.
I knew it was happening.
Wow.
The moment I
Look
heard
at you. That's all it took?
I don't know anything
Wow.
you're talking about.
You turn your back on
I
me?
would never besmirch the greatness of Larry McCarron.
Wow.
You know me. Look, I constantly am walking around telling you how great Larry McCarron is. And there's never a day that goes by.
Look at this. I shouldn't even be surprised.
There's never a day that goes by that I'm not telling you that Larry McCarron isn't receiving his proper respect in these hallways.
You know, you remind me of a poem I can't remember, and a song that may never have existed, and a place I'm not sure I've ever been to.
We mock what we will become.
Oh, man.
We mock.
I
what
can't
we will
believe
become.
you. I can't believe you.
I don't agree with your comedy sensibilities.
Man, oh man,
here.
you
I
are
don't know.
something. You are something. All it took, huh?
Well,
wow.
This is and you know what? When we started this show, we were just starting to get an idea.
I know you didn't want me a part of it.
We were starting to build 312 Sports. Maddie and I were meeting over coffee, and he said to me, he goes, "Yeah, Bernstein, I need to get back in the game, if only to get back at Larry McCarron." Because that's what
I was just waiting for the right opportunity.
He said, I'm gonna bide my time. I'm gonna keep my powder dry until the time is right.
Ooh, I feel all funny. I'm in love. No, wait, it's a stroke.
And what's interesting is Larry McCarron is only 37 years old, which is really, so it's not that bad when you think about it. It really isn't that big a deal.
Matt, congratulations.
Well, thank
that
you.
game was
Thank you,
worthy of being part of the longest rivalry in the history of the NFL. How do you feel?
I'll be deep in the cold, cold ground before I recognize Missouri.
It's interesting how LaFleur is like, all right, okay, here we go again.
All right, real quick here. Get off this topic.
No.
My guy over there.
Yeah,
Look at my guy. Always got my back.
Maddie.
I love it. Look at you.
I do, but I knew it when the moment I heard it. Like, I hope we're not impugning somebody here who's some sort of local legend. But indeed, we are. Which
Matt,
is
congratulations.
Thank you. All right, I can't laugh. All right, the fragile NFC, Dan.
Yes.
So just took a quick look here. Coming up in Week 15, Browns at the Bears. Green Bay goes to Denver. That's the Denver Broncos. The Detroit Lions.
No fun.
The Detroit Lions go to the LA Rams.
Okay.
So two tough games for both the Packers and the Lions. The Atlanta Falcons play at the Buccaneers. The Raiders at the Eagles. The Colts at Seattle, and the Titans go to San Francisco. So if all things play out in the favor of the Chicago Bears, they win and get to 10-4. Green Bay loses 9-4-1. Detroit loses 8-6. Buccaneers, they're meaningless to us. They're going to have the South. They're 8-6. The Eagles 9-4. The Bears have the tiebreaker on them. Seattle 11-3, and the
That's
Niners.
a win over the Colts, by the way.
Yeah, so that makes them 11. That makes them
them
11-3. The Niners would improve to 10-4 with a win over Tennessee. If the Bears get to 10-4, here's what that does with the standings. Rams would be the 1 seed. The Bears would be the 2 seed. Eagles 3, Buccaneers 4, Seattle 5, 49ers would be the 6 seed, and the Packers would be the 7 seed.
Well, we got a lot of ups and downs to go before.
Oh, I know,
this thing is all said and
but
done.
we talked about this last week going into this Green Bay game, the fragile, frantic finish of the NFC, and how one loss made them the 1 seed to the 7 seed. One win,
yep,
and a couple combinations of wins and losses for the Bears props them back up to the 2 seed. Packers fall back down to the 7 seed.
And they've got to have this win. As
they have to.
We'll get into it this week, but this is a must against the Browns. As we look around the league a little bit here, I think we're done with the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty.
Is that official?
Did you watch last night?
It's not good. It's not good.
No, and they knew it. I thought that Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth did a nice job allowing us, at least walking us up to some stuff that they didn't say outright.
What was it? How many Super Bowls? They went 3 in a row, right?
When they went to 5.
4 out of 5 or something stupid. I mean,
this is how it happens. This is what it looks like when it starts to end.
But the thing is, though, they can revamp some. They still have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but he's not at the peak of his powers.
Not with that offensive line.
Again, guy's played a lot of football. How old is he now? Is he 30 yet?
He's as old as Larry McCarron.
Wow. I mean, again, Larry's not that old. So they've got another shot to do some rebuilding around. He's not done, but I don't know that he is. I think the best I've ever seen him play was in the Super Bowl that they lost. The Patrick Mahomes, where he was running laterally crazy and he was horizontal to the ground.
He was he was definitely like
it was against the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And the Buccaneers are looking around like, oh my God, are you seeing what this guy is doing?
Right.
So it's clear that whatever version of this is, whatever iteration of the team that we've seen is coming to some kind of an end. On the injury front, I feel terrible for Daniel Jones. How do you rehab an Achilles when your other leg is broken?
Yeah. That's no bueno.
So his good leg is broken while he's trying to rehab an Achilles. That's going to be some hard work getting that done. Oh, my God. And then Jaden Daniels was held out of the game after re-injuring his elbow. And Zach Ertz's career might be over. With a torn ACL, he's going to need a full reconstruction. And at this point of his
dirty
career,
hit, too.
I think so. Jay Ward. I saw the name Jay Ward.
Yeah.
And I said, well, Jay Ward's been dead for years. And no, it's not the same Jay Ward.
I hope not, because that'd be bad.
The creator of Bullwinkle and
No. This is the football player.
Okay, because
on the Minnesota Vikings.
That Jay Ward, really significant, important cultural figure. This one, just a guy who probably is going to get fined or suspended for an illegal hit. But, yeah, you're right. Dirty hit.
Yeah.
And you could tell that Zach Ertz knew what was going on, and perhaps he's going to join his wife in retirement at this point.
I know we've talked a lot about point differential, too. The Bears, now with that loss, are back to -1, Dan. But congratulations to the NFC South and the AFC North.
Why?
All 4 teams, negative differentials. Steelers are -3. The Ravens are -9. And first and second place in their division. The Buccaneers are -26 in first place. Panthers are -50. -61 for the Falcons, who have been eliminated. And the Saints, -109. So congrats, NFC South, AFC North. All 4 teams.
This is going to be a big and busy week here at 312 Sports as we get you ready for Bears and Browns. And just a reminder, get the app. Get the free 312 Sports app in the Apple App Store and Google Play, and then register your account to get everything that the app is going to bring, all your abilities to interact with the show. And once you register your account, you can win great prizes. And we'll be populating that prize list. All you do is you pick what you want and enter the promo code BEARS on any of those rewards for a chance to win. And that is going to do it for today's Forward Progress here.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay.
Why? Did you not queue up the close?
No, of course I did.
No, you got it now.
No, I've had it.
On 312 Sports.
10, 219, 219.
Forward Progress. A Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abeticola on 312 Sports.